and we make it free. Plus, get unlimited data for $30 a month with 4 lines. U.S. Cellular, America's locally grown wireless. Terms apply. See uscellular.com for details.
This is Brandon Tate, owner and operator of Atlantic Wireless, an authorized agent for U.S. Cellular since 1997. Visit atlanticwireless.com to find the store near you. We go beyond the call.
Dear past, present, and future football watchers, football is back! Just how you remembered it. Tailgates with an ice-cold Pepsi in hand? Totally back. That between-play sprint to the fridge for more Pepsi is back, baby! I really miss this. Anyways, consider this your official excuse for always putting football watching first, courtesy of Pepsi. That haircut appointment? Your mom told us you look great, so you should probably reschedule. Seeing the in-laws for the first time in ages.
It's been so long.
Nope, sorry, Susan. Not if it's on Sunday. Long story short, after the year we've all had, we think you could use a little football watching. So crack open a Pepsi and cheer your football watching face off. With love, Pepsi. Made for football watching. That's what I like.
Hi, this is Billy Parker from Parker's Barbecue. Did you know that we cater? Let us cater your next private event, church gathering, or backyard party. From traditional pig pickings to regular chopped barbecue, Parker's has anything you need. Parker's, where you're always treated like family.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. The following is an exclusive presentation of Pirate Radio, the voice of the pirate nation. This is Eastern North Carolina's longest-running sports radio call-in show. The Brian Bailey Show is on the air. The Brian Bailey Show on Pirate Radio is brought to you by
Angus Grill, Bostic Sugg Furniture, Bojangles, East Coast Grading, The Gavigan Agency, Greenville Auto World, Papa John's, Pepsi, Seared Chop House, Taft and Hagler, Tiebreakers, BMS Builders, and The Rick House.
And now, here's Brian Bailey.
Good Monday, everybody. Welcome into our show. Blake Harrell, defensive coordinator at East Carolina, will be our guest. There's also breaking news to talk about with East Carolina football. Malik Fleming has been named as the American Defensive Player of the Week in that 29-14 Pirate win over the Bulls of South Florida on this Victory Monday. He had that 31-yard interception return for a touchdown. So he is honored by the American Athletic Conference today, and the Memphis game time has just been announced. The Pirates will take on the Tigers at 12 noon, not this week, but the next week. East Carolina has the Temple Owls coming up this week, and we'll talk with Blake Harrell, defensive coordinator, about the Owls, about the rest of the season, and all things defense today on the Brian Bailey Show after this.
It's bow time. You've probably heard folks say, don't call it a comeback. But at Bojangles, we don't like to beat around the bush. So when the sizzling, savory pork chop griller's back in all its tender, marinated chili lime glory, and you can get a pork chop griller combo for just $4.59, go ahead, call it a comeback. Get a legendary pork chop griller combo for just $4.59, only at Bojangles. It's bow time.
I'm Michael Vaughn with East Coast Grading and Utilities. Many of you know my dad, David Vaughn, and his work in putting in subdivisions all over Pirate Nation. But East Coast Grading and Utilities is not just for those type of big jobs. We're here for the homeowners. Whether it's concrete, driveways, hauling rock, or sand, whatever you need, East Coast Grading and Utilities can get the job done. Call us at 252-531-7494 or check us out on Facebook at East Coast Grading and Utilities.
Ooh, look at all that Parmesan cheese on that papadilla. Our freshly folded flatbread filled with juicy meats and melted cheese now has a crunchy, toasty outside. Now that's what's poppin'. Order today at papajohns.com.
Hey, Pirate fans, order the new Parmesan-crusted papadilla for only $7. The new Parmesan-crusted papadilla is an MVP move for game day or any day. Place your order online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, the official pizza of the ECU Pirates. I'm on site at the Gavigan Agency with commercial insurance specialist Nathan Brannon. Nathan, tell me a little bit about yourself and what you do at the Gavigan Agency.
Great to talk with you, Brian. I'm a graduate of East Carolina University and a proud pirate. As you mentioned, I'm a commercial insurance agent for the Gavigan Agency and specialize in offering general liability, commercial property, business auto, and workers' compensation insurance to independent contractors, small business owners, and larger commercial customers throughout eastern North Carolina.
Wow, sounds like the Gavigan Agency can provide just about any coverage a business owner may need.
That's right, Brian. The Gavigan Agency is a fully independent insurance agency with access to the top insurance carriers in the region, and we offer a full host of insurance products to provide for our customers' personal and business insurance needs.
So give the Gavigan Agency a call today and let them show you the benefits of doing business with someone who cares.
Pirates, insuring pirates. Arrgh.
Seared Chop House is Greenville's newest restaurant and the city's only true chop house. We combine a remarkable menu with an unrivaled atmosphere. Seared, a quality-driven experience highlighting a thoughtful approach to locally sourced ingredients and hearty, flavor-rich cuisine. We're firing up the grill at Seared, Greenville's only true chop house. Come see us, Fire Tower Road at Bells Fork or SearedChophouse.com.
Pirate Radio.
We're going to be bigger, faster, stronger, and older. That's always a good combination.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show. Now, back to Brian.
All right, welcome back to our show on this Monday. Blake Harrell, defensive coordinator at East Carolina, joins us. And first of all, Coach, congratulations so far, 4-4 on the season. You're coming off a win and a lot of football still to be played, right?
Yeah, it was good to get a win back at home and Dowdy Ficklen and get rolling here in November and on a win streak of one game, I guess. But really looking forward to Temple.
You know, when you look back at the South Florida win, 29-14, but things looked a little, it was shaky a little bit until your defense made that big play, and sometimes games are like that.
Yeah, I mean, you play good opponents each and every week in the American Conference, and that was a heck of a play by Malik Fleming picking that ball off and sticking the end zone there. And they just rushed for 400 yards the week before, so we knew we were going to have our hands full with them, and once you get up on them, then you can make them a little bit more. Pass the ball around, not just being run heavy or RPO heavy for that fact. But once that scoring got up on them, then they kind of put them behind the 8 ball, so it gave us a little bit of advantage defensively.
Take us through the Fleming interception as far as what the defense was called and the play that he made.
Yeah, Malik gave up that same route early in the game. They threw the out route to the field on him, and I think it was the very first drive of the game. And just a great job by him, just kind of recognition there and seeing it and undercut the route and was able to pick it off and put it in the end zone. So good job by him. And, those guys defensively are doing a really nice job of recognizing things throughout the ball game. I got this look earlier in the game. Here's what they try to do out of it. They see it later in the game, and they go attack it. So just a nice job by him and a nice job by our defensive players.
When you're sitting up there, what are you thinking when you see that play develop and you see, right before he gets the interception?
Well, if you undercut that and miss, it's not a pleasant feeling. It could go the other way. But I thought that was a really nice play by him, and just it definitely makes things easier as a play caller. when you get the lead there.
How comfortable are you now as the defensive coordinator? You're in your second year, but do you feel like you've been here for a lot longer than not even 2 years, a year and a half?
Yeah, going in the second season, and I think just the comfort level, and it's really our players that makes you feel very comfortable about what we can do defensively. And, it feels like home. It does. My family loves it here, and kids really enjoying it here, and they're kind of, elementary school age, so it's kind of the really first place they've been where, it feels like they got friends and all that. So that's been nice. But, just our program and our players, everything they're doing is making things go really smoothly.
Let's go a little sideways here from football to Halloween. How was Halloween with the little ones?
Yeah, I think they had a good time. So we were obviously in the office last night, but, they're having a good time. And I think they dressed up. One was maybe Elsa and Bella and different things like that. So they enjoyed it. And my wife she enjoys Halloween as well, just kind of taking them around the neighborhood and picking up candy and all that kind of stuff. So they had a good time.
And I know firsthand that that's one of those holidays that coaches and people in my business, we don't really get to celebrate all that often, and you guys, you would think on a Sunday maybe you could, but I know you guys are in the office and, some of these holidays just don't come into play, do they?
No, it kind of is what it is. You just kind of keep rolling, and you're kind of in the grind of the season, focused on Temple and getting ready to play them on Saturday. And that's what our wives do a great job of, just sometimes picking up the slack for us and just, being maybe a single parent at time and at home and doing a great job raising the kids. And she's doing an awesome job. And I got to see pictures, and, I did get to see them on Saturday. They put the Saturday evening, since we had played on Thursday, they put the costumes on. I got to see that, so that was exciting. But they're enjoying it. She's doing a great job, and kids are really happy, so it's been good.
Let's go back to last week. How hard was it getting back from Houston after a disappointing loss and a game that East Carolina had a chance to win, fought hard the whole time, and then you come back and it's late, and it's early in the morning when you get back, and you got to be ready to go by Thursday. How difficult was that?
Yeah, we've had some challenges this year. It's the plane delay going to Central Florida, the weather delay going out in Houston and getting back late, and then a short week for South Florida. But control what you control. You can't control the weather. You can't control plane delays. You can't control a short week. You got to keep moving on, and no excuses. Just keep playing and get ready and prepare to play a ball game and go out and do what you do.
What did you do during that long weather delay in Houston?
Well, you're just kind of sitting around killing time. It's really, because you never know. Like, it could be 20 minutes,
right?
And the lightning could let up and move out. It could be a couple hours. So you're always prepared for that and trying to, hey, how's this going to change their game? How's it going to change their game plan? So you got to stay in it and stay focused, stay locked in. But you never know, like, when the minute's going to be, when the time's going to be ready to roll. So you're just kind of looking at the weather forecast and hoping it's sooner rather than later.
And the funny thing about the Houston trip, I had a chance to be on it, but the weather forecast was 30% chance, 40% chance, and we're always used to hearing that during the summer. We know that's every day in the summertime in Eastern North Carolina. That's how it is. But then the first lightning delay kind of surprised me because I didn't see any lightning. Obviously, it was within 8 miles or so of the stadium. But then you looked at that radar, and that was. And all afternoon long, that was a long day.
Yeah, that radar didn't look too well. I'm not a weatherman, but we do have Coach Shankweiler, who's kind of our radar weatherman, so he kept us updated. But it didn't look very, very good there, and all of a sudden it cleared up, and we were able to get out there and play. And I thought the kids did a really nice job of just, they were in the same boat. Didn't know whether, hey, it's going to be 20 minutes or a couple of hours. And then once they got the call, we stepped out there and went right to work. So that was nice to see.
I was going to ask you about some calls during the season to get you to explain some of those. And since we're on Houston, let's talk about that game. Coach Houston had said that the first play of overtime that you guys called the exact defense that you wanted to call. He said if you had told us they were going to run this play, we would have called that defense. But the way he described it, he said we just didn't fit it right. Now, what does he mean, and what does that mean to not fit it right?
Yeah, so, we talked to our guys about you have a responsibility, and you got to play disciplined football defensively. And any given defense, you're going to have, the guys responsible for certain gaps or responsible for covering certain guys or leveraging the ball or staying inside out, spilling the ball, alley, those type of things. So you have a job to do, and it's very important in each defense. You do your job. And if you don't do your job from time to time, it can lead to big plays. And unfortunately, that was one of them in that game. We, have a lot of plays where guys did their job and made some big plays and good things happen. And that just happened to be one of those that didn't go our way.
Is that one of those gap integrity or something like that? You have to establish your spot?
Yeah, definitely gap integrity. If you get out of it, and they can make you pay. And Houston has, obviously, the athletes. I mean, they're a top 20 football team that, they're going to make you pay for it.
All right, on a more positive side, let's go back to the Marshall game. Late in that game, and you guys were, you had the big comeback, and then they're driving down the field. That was one of the craziest games I've ever seen, but it comes down to an interception. Talk about that play a little bit.
Yeah, you go winding way back. I'm trying to just focus on Temple and get ready for Temple this week and being 1-0 this week. But
I'll get you back to Temple in a minute. I had two other questions about former games, and then we'll go to Temple.
Yeah, Jaquan McMillan did a nice job. Just they tried to throw the fade ball in the end zone, and he did a nice job sitting on the back shoulder fade ball there, and the safety was over the top. So those guys just did a really nice job executing there, and just kind of what you're talking about. They did their job, and J-Max, done his job several times this year and makes big plays, and that was one of them on the season.
He's third in the nation right now in interceptions per game. He's got 4, and he's tied for third in interceptions per game. They go per game because obviously teams play a different number of games at different times of the season. But Jaquan's had an outstanding season. He should be up for some All-Star, nominations later on.
I'm glad you guys keep up with all that and keep me updated because, like I said, we just focus on the next one and try to correct the mistakes we make. But he's an outstanding player, outstanding young man, and he's all about team and how can I help the team win, which makes him a lot of fun to coach. And he'll go out there and, not only does he play the ball really well in the air, but he comes down and does a nice job tackling and run fits or just swing routes, whatever it may be. So he's had some big hits there. So those kind of excite me more sometimes than the picks and the interceptions. So, but he's had a good season.
Let's go back to the UCF game. You had a 4th and 8 where UCF was driving at the time, and I think you guys have talked about it publicly that maybe we should have done something different on that call. But Coach Houston seemed to think that at the time that there was talk about sending Heat and sending 5 at least or something like that, and then you guys changed your mind. Take us through that call.
Yeah. So obviously you always as a coach you're going to second guess things you do and don't do. The play before third down, we obviously sent 7 there. Yeah. So we zeroed out, max pressured, put the DBs in some stressful situations back there. And then you're playing against a young quarterback. There's 2 things you're going to do. You're either going to go get him, which we did the play before, or you're going to max drop him, sit at the sticks, and try to break downhill, keep everything in front of you. And we try to do that. Just we got to be a little bit better execution piece there.
Yeah, and it's one of those things. You daggone if you do, and daggone if you don't, isn't it?
Yeah, it's about 3.5, 4 minutes on the clock. You don't want to give up the huge play. Right. You zero out and somebody slips or gets beat inside, and that's 15 out the gate. And you lose the ball game right there. So you make sure you want to keep the ball in front of you. So you go back and forth. At the end of the day, it's about how you execute. It's how you do things, not what you do, but how you do it. And we talk to our guys about that all the time. It's not what we do, but how we do it. And we want to play it fast, play it physical, and play a high execution.
And speaking of that, some of the compliments I've heard, out in the community is like, hey, this is the best defensive team we've had since 07, 08, 09. I mean, a lot of people are seeing what you guys are able to do on defense, and that's got to make you feel good.
Well, our guys are doing a really nice job of just playing with high effort, high energy, and playing physical like you said. So just proud of our guys and proud of our players. They deserve all the credit because they're doing a nice job, and hopefully we can continue to do that against Temple this week. As
a defensive coach and defensive players, I mean, was it kind of one of those things, the weather the other night, one of those things where you're like, yeah, this is going to be fun? I mean, it's going to rain, it's going to pour, but it's still, we're out there to play defense. And sometimes they say the defense is at a disadvantage because the offense knows where they want to go, and the defense really doesn't, so you can slip and slide. But you guys handled it pretty well.
No, I thought our guys did a really nice job with it. They were excited to play. It doesn't matter if it's rain, shine, cold, hot. I think they get up for a game, especially in Dowdy-Fickle in front of our fans, and feel that energy. And they just kind of feed off that and go with it. So, and then it rained the other night. They played well, and it is what it is.
Let's take you back to when you first got here, and obviously the world was changing right when you got here. That had to be very difficult to move a family to a new place and to get situated, and you got your new players, and then you're going through COVID, and then you're meeting with players through Zoom and through Teams and all of that. This year's been a lot more enjoyable as far as that goes, hasn't it?
It definitely has. I think last year, just even during the season, you were always worried about who you're going to have for that game and how many guys that were going to miss in practice, and then how many practices were they going to get in. I think about the Navy game last year and the guys we were missing, but also we were missing several guys that only practiced twice that week because they'd been quarantined for a day or two. So all that stress is kind of taken away. Now the focus is more back on football and where it should be. And, some things in our world at least is controlled there and a little bit more normal, so to speak, if what we would call normal these days.
Yeah, I tell you what, it's getting closer and closer. I don't know if we'll ever get back to normal, but hopefully we will. The Temple Owls next up. This is a different kind of assignment for East Carolina football this week because Temple has really struggled. Pirates are big favorites in the game, but I think the one thing that Coach Houston has stressed, I think you stress as a defensive coordinator, I think Donnie stresses as an offensive coordinator, is that we have to take care of our business. If we execute and play our football, there's not a team on the schedule we can't beat. Isn't that the way you guys look at it?
Yeah, first of all, Temple's a really good football team, and you got to take records out each week. I mean, you got to focus on, what you got to do to get a win. And being 1-0 this week, not worry about any part of the other season, They're a good O-line, very good up front, come downhill, run the football at you, get some play action going, spread it out. The quarterback, he started at Georgia at one time, and, he can, when the play breaks down, he's got good speed and make some things happen there. But, I think whether we're playing Temple or Houston, whoever it may be on our schedule, we got to focus on, hey, what we do and how we play. Are we playing with great effort? Are we playing with great energy? Are we playing physical? Are we playing with great execution and taking care of our gap integrity or our job? So that's where our focus has got to be. And, I thought even last week we played with some good effort and good energy, but our execution level and our assignment level has got to be a little higher than it was.
After the off weekend, how much does that help you in getting ready for Temple? Because the worst part about a Thursday game is playing on Thursday and getting all that information, everything done by Thursday to play. The best part is you come up with a win on Thursday. You got a little bit of a weekend off. Obviously, you guys weren't vacationing in the Bahamas or anything this weekend, but you're still working, but still had to give the guys a chance to heal up a little bit, a couple of extra days off, and really get a chance to gear up for the rest of the season.
Yeah, sure, certainly does. They have 9 days to kind of get their body back and ready to go instead of 7. And then I think usually on Sunday that's kind of just for us, stretch your body out, kind of get the blood flowing, trying to get back to health, to get things back going, get in the training room, that type of thing. Whereas this Sunday, you were able to kind of move along with your game plan, so you're a couple of days ahead there. So you feel like, hey, that should put you ahead game plan-wise. Hopefully it improves your execution. And also just the kids being fresh and ready for game day.
I thought you guys also, during the year, have done a great job of getting fresh bodies in there, especially on the defensive line. How important is it to keep guys on that defensive line fresh?
Well, we were just talking about this. The last 2 games, third and fourth quarter, we haven't allowed any points. And I think that's a credit to our guys, just being a team and rotating around and keeping fresh. I mean, you've got playing guys in the third and fourth quarter that are fresh and not wore out versus the offense who's played a whole game, and they've got guys that have been in there for 4 quarters that may be a little tired, and we're still fresh and can be able to play fast in the way we want to play. So the guys did a nice job. Just, hey, it's not about me, it's about our football team, and I'm best when I'm fresh mentality. So it's worked out for us.
Take us through the defense and start with the defensive line, and maybe drop some names about some guys that you've really pleased with, and some guys that you hope will continue on, young kids that we might see later on in the season, that kind of thing.
Yeah, just up front, we just moved Rick DeBreu back inside. He played on the edge most of the season, and then during the bye week, we moved him back inside, and I thought he's done a really nice job and showed up even more last week, and I can expect that moving forward here. Down the road, and he's kind of a guy we all know about. Elijah Morris has done a really nice job this year, and just, a big thing for him is keeping him fresh, keeping him going. Surad Ware is another name inside that started some ball games and still playing well. D'Angelo McKinney still inside there. So all those guys are doing a nice job. And then on the edge, I told somebody, I think it was the ESPN folks last week, that maybe the biggest surprise of the year has been Manny Hickman and Chad Stevens. Their development and what we're getting out of those guys and the level of football they're playing right now actually allowed us to move Rick back inside. So just really proud of those guys. Jeremy Lewis doing a nice job on the edge and had some really big games and some big sacks this year. And I think another young guy up front that we may see down the road is Eric Doctor. He was a linebacker, and we've moved him up front. And just a really headsy kid and just eager to get on the field, doing a really nice job on some special teams right now. So just proud of him. In linebacker, we do have some older kids, Miles Berry and Bruce Bivens and Aaron Ramseur and Xavier Smith. All 4 of those guys are playing a lot of football and doing a really nice job. I think Aaron may have had the last 2 weeks his biggest production weeks, and so got to keep him healthy, and those guys are doing a nice job rotating and doing that. And so Gerard Stringer, been nice to have him back outside. Him and Jair have been doing a great job out there at Sandbacker and to the field there. And then safety-wise, it's kind of a committee back there. And, I look up and don't know who's in the game, but still feel good about it. Whether it's been, Julius Wood, we saw him for the first time last week, and he looked like he'd been back there all year. And, still got Warren and Jawan Powell and Sean Dorso and Tegan Wilkes had some really nice games.
Nice game.
Yeah, he's created some turnovers and had some nice games here lately, and DJ Ford. So all those guys are doing a really nice job back there and playing really, really good football at a high level and and just do whatever they can to help the team.
I was glad to see Jeremy Lewis switch over back to the defensive side of the football, because I watched him in high school, and I was always amazed in high school. This was before you got here, but when the Pirates were recruiting him, he was a skinny, lanky type player, and I always marvel when I see the coach and think, hey, he's going to be a really good player. We're glad to have him. And I'm thinking, but then I realized Big John's going to get his muscles on him, and he's going to gain weight, and Jeremy Lewis is a man. He's not a boy anymore. And he's so much fun to watch. He was at South Central, but I think that when I think of local kids that have made an impact on this East Carolina team of late, I mean, Jeremy's right up there.
He's definitely got to be, and he's a lot of fun to have out there, and he plays with great energy and has speed up front. He can beat some offensive linemen and offensive tackles, and then also he understands the game from an offensive perspective too. I think playing tight end actually helped him, understand defensively what we're trying to do, how to attack an offense. He does a really good job dropping in coverage, and it allowed our defense to be really multiple this year, which we didn't have a year ago. So he's brought a new aspect to our defense that's made us better and allowed us to do more things.
And that's really a credit to him, because the Pirates needed tight ends when he came in, and there was nobody in that room hardly, and so he kind of filled a need. But then, as you said, it's helped him as a defensive player, and that's something that it kind of goes. One of the magic things about football is it's a team sport, and you have to dive deep into football sometimes to find out how guys are being team players.
Yeah, no doubt, and he did a nice job with that. Just another guy that, whether it's playing the boundary outside backer or if he has to flip and go play the field in, he doesn't care. He just wants to play and help our team win. I
think the linebacker core, anytime you start naming your linebackers and everybody kind of nods their head, because we all know Bivens, we all know Xavier Smith. I mean, those guys have really, they're older guys, and that's got to be an advantage. But it's also got to be an advantage, again, as you go diving deep into how football is a team sport. Some of your younger linebackers have got to be, learning a lot of great things from those guys.
Yeah, I look at Taylor Jackson every day, and he's getting better and better and better. We don't get to see a lot of him on game day, but he's doing a really nice job on special teams. And if he goes in the game, I feel totally comfortable. I mean, it's not like we're going to have a drop down. He's a very good player and a very talented player, and he is learning a lot from the older guys and how to prepare, how to take care of his body, how to just play the game. So he'll be ready to go when his time's called. And you never know. That's what I tell our guys. It's going to take all of us. Everybody's got a role, and you never know when your time is going to be, but you got to be ready for it, and you got to make sure your preparation meets that opportunity.
Who are some of the other younger players that we haven't seen so much of, but you're really impressed with?
We talked about Julius Wood. He was the one that popped out there last week and took a bunch of snaps at safety. Tegan's still a young kid, believe it or not.
That's hard to believe.
He's still a freshman. In the corner, Malik is still young, Jawan's still young, so we got some young guys that are playing a lot. Young freshmen that you'll have play. Josiah Robinson, just getting him back. So I expect, whether it's this week or down the road, we're going to see him, in there some type of pass rush situation.
How hard is it to get guys to buy into their roles, especially with the transfer portal the way it is? Because, and you see it every day on every college campus, every college program, guys are in the transfer portal, not happy with this, not happy with that. And I would say that it's almost more difficult than it's ever been. And if you have a family-type atmosphere, that has to help things as far as that goes.
Yeah, I think the culture that Coach Houston's created and what we have is special. Guys are more concerned about, each other than themselves. And I think one of the things we talk about defensively is we say, hey, bring the juice, or juice, you want to get juice points, whatever it may be. And when we talk about that, that's not about celebrating when I make a play. It's celebrating when my teammate makes a play, and the love and the care and the concern I have for my teammate. That's when, we're most excited, is when my teammate makes a big play, and then we're celebrating with him. So that's been huge for us, and just whatever I can do to help the team and what's most important.
Blake Harrell, defensive coordinator at East Carolina, is our guest on this Monday. We'll take a commercial break right now. We'll come back and continue on with the DC at ECU right after this.
Hi, this is Jeff Charles, and this is a Pirate Radio Sports Break presented by Ron Ayers Motorsports, Highway 11, north of the airport in Greenville. The Houston Astros came from behind to post a 9-5 victory over the Atlanta Braves, sending the series back to Houston. The Astros had to overcome a first-inning grand slam home run off the bat of Adam Duvall. Freddie Freeman also homered. Game 6 is tomorrow night in Houston. The Braves still lead the series 3-2. The AP Top 25 is out. Georgia remains number 1, Cincinnati number 2, Alabama 3rd, Oklahoma 4, Michigan State 5, Ohio State is 6th, Wake Forest is number 10, the highest ranking ever for the Deacs. UTSA, coming into the AAC in 2 years, is 16th. Houston from the AAC is number 20, Coastal Carolina number 21, SMU from the American is number 23. Gary Patterson is out after 20 years as the head coach at TCU. He went 181-79 with the Horned Frogs, but just 21-22 the last 4 years. And UTSA head coach, 53-year-old Jeff Traylor, gets a new 10-year deal worth $2.8 million per year. This has been a Pirate Radio Sports Break.
Tired and sluggish? Down in the dumps? Or just have the blahs? Maybe you need to hydrate. Revive Health and Wellness on East 10th Street in Greenville offers IV hydration that can help you with lack of energy, improve your mood, assist with immunity, even fix a hangover. Locally owned and operated, the team at Revive Health and Wellness are experienced and licensed registered nurses that will assist you in preparing for your IV session. Call or text today with questions or to set an appointment with Revive Health and Wellness. 252-350-1805. That's 252-350-1805.
Do you suffer from allergies, asthma, or any other sinus problems? Perhaps professional cleaning of your air ducts could help. Family owned and operated in Winterville for over 22 years, Carolina Quality Air was the first certified duct cleaning company in Eastern North Carolina. From residential to commercial, they can handle any size job, big or small, including our studios here at Pirate Radio. Carolina Quality Air uses a sanitizer that kills mold in your ductwork and over 100 viruses, including the coronavirus. Visit them online at carolinaqualityair.com.
The icy treat that can't be beat is Sparky Snowballs. From big kids to little kids, Sparky Snowballs has been making smiles happen for over 20 years. If you're not in the mood to chill out with a snowball, Sparky's funnel cakes and fried Oreos are a perfect Sparky-licious treat every time. Are you having an event, party, or fundraiser? Call Sparky's to come on site. Remember to follow Sparky's on Facebook or visit SparkySnowballs.com to see where they'll be next.
UBE and PirateWear.com is excited to offer Pirate Nation the largest selection of new ECU merchandise and tailgate supplies ever. UBE has the best prices in town, so that makes UBE your one-stop shop for all things ECU. UBE does daily restocks of Champion, Adidas, and Under Armour. Don't forget to bring your young Pirates in to plunder the Crow's Nest, which is the only kids store dedicated to ECU. Plenty of free parking uptown in Greenville. Visit them at PirateWear.com. Go Pirates!
This is Bruce Bivens, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of Pirate Nation.
You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show. Now, back to Brian.
All right, welcome back on this Monday. East Carolina defensive coordinator Blake Harrell is our guest. The Pirates getting ready to take on the Temple Owls. You talked a little bit about Temple already in the show, but when you look at them on film, you know, when a team's not having success, but you still see that they can play the game. Yeah, they can line up and run the ball downhill at you, and they can spread you out, you know, and get those empty sets and spread around. They got some playmakers, 0, 5, 23, I think, is a really good running back, 84, the tight end. It creates some matchup problems for you. So, and they're, like I said, their quarterback started a game at Georgia and transferred there and was a 4-star kid out of high school. So they certainly have the weapons, and I think up front, three grad students. There's another senior and a junior up front, so they've got the tools and the guys they need. I think they've just had some bad breaks. I mean, you had to play Rutgers and Boston College early on, 2 ACC teams, so they've not had the easiest schedule. And then, you know, they played Cincinnati, Central Florida, so it's not like they've, you know, had a bad schedule and not winning games. They've had a tough schedule and just caught some bad breaks at times. They're a team that beat Memphis. You know, was down 17-0 at Memphis and come back and win that game 34-31. So you got to make sure you show up and take care of your business and do your job and make sure we play the ball the way we want to play, and because they're capable, just like anybody, of winning every game on their schedule. Memphis, Navy, and then Cincinnati round out the schedule for East Carolina. We'll touch on those teams coming up in just a bit. But talk about your role on game day and who's on the field, who you're talking to, how you guys come up with what play is being called, and without giving anything away, obviously, but just take us through that whole process.
Yeah, we have an awesome staff defensively, just, from our full-time coaches to our support staff, our analysts, our GAs are all doing an awesome job. I told them a couple weeks ago, I said, guys, that's the best communication I've ever been a part of on game day, preparations in between series. Hey, what are they trying to attack us with? What can we go to? Those type of things. So just really proud of those guys. I'm obviously in the box on game day. Right. Our other full-time coaches, Coach Tesh, Coach Dowse, Coach Weaver, Coach Ellis are all on the field just to kind of communicate with their players, substitute their guys, make adjustments on the sideline during the game, which has been a really good fit for us, and it's been nice. And then in the box of me is our GAs. Aaron Span's on the field signaling, but we have Jacoby Cofield's in the box, and then our analysts are up in the box as well. So just been a really good communication level there, and we'll sit throughout the week and talk about hey, here's what we want to accomplish on game day. Here's how we want to do it. Here's our goals, and here's maybe some calls or defenses that we can get into that put us in the best situation to be successful. And then you see it come out on game day and their personnel and how they want to line up, and you try to get those calls in. And sometimes you get the right call in, sometimes you don't. And at the end of the day, you got to be able to play everything. And our kids have done a really nice job of just going out, and they're really who should get the credit for a lot of how we're playing right now, is the effort they're playing with.
The camera shows you guys, and those analysts. I'm sure they don't break the bank with their salaries, but those are the guys that are trying to get in the coaching business. And maybe I don't know if did you start as an analyst or as a grad assistant, or how'd you get your start?
Yeah, I started as a high school coach. Yeah. So I was a high school coach, and which the pay as a high school teacher, I joke around, I think it was about just over $20,000, maybe $21,000 when I first started. But then you had to coach, not only football, but it was the head middle school basketball coach, the baseball coach, mow the grass. you did a little bit of everything, so it was a lot of fun. Taught you a lot of things, and then went to Division II, and it really in some aspects you're doing some of the same things, lining the field, running the weight room, handing out gear, all those type of things. So I wore a lot of hats over the years. And it just teaches you, and it tells you to appreciate people, and it takes everybody. And I think, that goes from our players to our staff to our program. It takes everybody to get this thing done, and we all got to be pulling in the same direction in Coach Houston's vision, and make sure we do that to go win games on Saturday.
I'm older than you are. I started at $8,900 a year. I'm telling you, and it was brutal. But you look back on it though, and somehow we all made it, right? And we enjoyed what we were doing, so that made it even better.
We didn't know any better, and it was all good. It was just that was what we loved doing, and that's what we enjoyed, and it was good to me. It was high school coaching. And some of the relationships I built over the years there and here in North Carolina, it was awesome. And it's, some of those are lifelong friends today.
Do you ever want to be a head coach? Have you had that thought process going, or because some guys, that's their goal. Some guys just like the role that they're in. I mean, is there a Blake Harrell out there that, hey, one of these days I'm gonna be a head coach?
I enjoy working for Coach Houston and being a part of this program, and right now my focus is just beating Temple this week. That's it. Now when I get home, I'm definitely not the head coach. I got three daughters and a wife who all business there. So but maybe one day.
Yeah.
Maybe one day.
Yeah. Don't ever think about being the head coach in that household. Now our roles are all the same, and we just do whatever the ladies of the house tell us to do. Temple coming up next for East Carolina, then at Memphis and at Navy. I'll skip over Memphis a little bit. Just want to touch on Navy a little bit. I know it's one game at a time. Temple's our main concern, but you guys do work on Navy in the off season, correct?
Yeah, their offense is obviously a little bit different. They run triple options, so you got to consistently, just polish that up ever so often. We did it during camp, during the bye week, and we'll continue to do that until we play Navy. We did the same thing last year. We prepare for those guys, not only for our defensive players, but for our scout teams, just kind of becoming familiar with, hey, here's the kind of sets they get in, here's the kind of plays they run. So it was really good for us last year, just kind of preparing for that way, and we'll continue to do that this year as well.
What was the key last year in that Navy game that you guys were able to do? Because really, as an East Carolina, the fans of East Carolina football have seen Navy come in and just run for thousands of yards, it seems like, and Navy's had its way so many times with East Carolina. But last year, I thought that was one of the best defensive jobs that we've ever seen against the Middies.
Well, as a coach, you always think about things you should have done and could have done, I think it's the fourth down stops in that game that kind of hit me in the trap maybe play. But just I think the familiarity with our guys and just the confidence they had in playing Navy was a big factor. And they got some confidence early on, and it kind of carried throughout the game.
And when you look at the schedule, and we talk about it in the media, fans talk about it, one of the goals for this program this year was to make it to a bowl game, and you got to get to 6 wins. You're 4-4 on the season, and with the schedule, you got Temple at Memphis, at Navy, Cincinnati. Cincinnati obviously nationally ranked, but the Bearcats struggled this past weekend. And I think when you look at this schedule, as you guys have said, if you do what you guys want to do, if you play Pirate football, you got a chance in all 4 of these games.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, our biggest concern right now is just Temple. You don't worry about Memphis, Navy, Cincinnati. You worry about going on 1-0 this week. And if you can get to 5 wins, then you worry about the next one. But at the end of the day, our focus is all Temple. It's all on those guys and what they're doing and what we can do defensively to get them stopped.
Is it hard as a coach to learn that philosophy, and is it even harder to get that philosophy across to the players? Do players kind of say, okay, well, we think this or we think that, we got to win this game, we got to win that game, or are they pretty much focused on going 1-0?
No, our kids are locked in on Temple. They're locked in on being 1-0 this week. I think we've had some valuable lessons throughout the season. I think anytime you've been around a football team for a couple years and even just this season, we've had some lessons of, hey, you can't overlook anybody, whether it's Charleston Southern, whoever it may be. You got to go out and play your best football each and every week. You got to prepare to win that game. Don't worry about any other games in your schedule.
When you look at Temple on film, are there things that defensively or that their offense does that's a little different that you don't see every day?
Yeah, so they're going to huddle up. That's one. They're going to huddle.
That is weird these days, isn't it?
Yes. Most teams come out and spread it out and don't huddle, all that kind of stuff. But they're going to huddle up, and they're a little bit old school as far as that goes, and they're going to shift, motion around. They're going to be in 2 tight end sets. They're going to hand the ball off to receivers. They're going to hand the ball off going downhill. And then they'll spread you out and get in 5 wide and have that little package in there. So they create some things that you don't see each and every week with the empty sets, the 12 personnels, the shifts, the motions, the huddle. So that's a little bit different.
How hard is it as a coach whenever you guys see, we're so used to the no huddle, and teams will come up and they'll bark a couple of, signals and hut, and everybody stops and looks over to the side. I mean, is that been an adjustment for a defensive squad? You guys change with the offense as it goes? Yeah, so years ago that was kind of the unknown, or they didn't see it much, so it was kind of new. But now it's they come up there and check a play. You make sure you check the defense too. You don't want to just show them your cards and show them exactly what you got and what you're holding there. So you want to change it up and get a new draw there and put a new defense out there. But the big thing for us and us, me defensively, is making sure we're all on the same page about what defense we are running. So keep it simple enough that, hey, we can get into an easy call, but all 11 guys, we say communication, verbal and visual. So we make sure we're talking about it, communicate it visually, so we're all on the same page, running the same defense. Tell them all the time, hey, if you're all wrong and you all run the same defense, we're all right. It's going to be okay. That's another one of the joys of football, is that 11 guys have to be on the same page. And if all 11 guys are on a different page, but it's the same different page, you might turn out to be all right with that. But defensive football, how has it changed since you've gotten into the business?
Tremendously. So in high school football back in 2000, 1, 2, 3, somewhere in there, it was all 21 personnel. Everybody huddled up. It was run, except for third down and long. They might throw the ball. Then we got into college in 2007. It was a little bit the same. You saw a little bit more spread offense. About 2010, 2011, we started seeing some RPOs, which we had to adjust to. 2013, 2014, I guess, we saw a little even more RPOs and more quarterback run game, and we had maybe changed some things we did defensively. And then I think about 17 or 18, it was like, hey, we got to change and be more multiple defensively about how we do things. If they always know where our Jimmys and Joes are going to be, they can scheme you up pretty good. Offenses are pretty good these days, and it seems like everything around the game is built for offenses to be successful. the rules and how they're adjusted and the penalties and how they're adjusted. The time is possessed. Everything's just set up for the offense, it seems. So defensively, we got to, think ahead and get ahead a little bit. So we try to be more multiple, whether it's a 4-man front, 3-man front, bring pressure, not bring pressure, post safety, no post, coverage, those type of things. So we just try to do a lot of different things to create confusion. I think, for the offense coordinator, the quarterback, and the O-line to give us the advantage and create some negative plays, not give up explosive plays, and create a few turnovers.
It's kind of like a chess game almost. When you're up in that booth and you're doing pretty well, then all of a sudden they run a play and you're like, man, he's pretty smart. He figured that one out. We got to regroup on that one.
I think the guys that are really smart are the 11 guys on the field, and that's who it comes down to. Those guys, when they execute at a high level and play with great effort and great energy, they make good coaches of us, and they're the ones that's out there playing and making tackles. I hadn't made a tackle all year. But those are the guys that are making plays.
You have days you'd like to get out there and make a tackle?
Maybe against some of the smaller running backs, smaller receivers. None of the Temple running backs. They're pretty big.
Pretty big. All right. Blake Harrell, the defensive coordinator at East Carolina. Going forward this season with the 4 games left to play, what do you want to see out of your defense?
Just that we continue to grow each and every week and become a better version of each and every week of us. And that's playing with great effort, great energy, and just putting a product out there that Pirate Nation can be proud of and support and get behind. And just, we got to continue to not give up explosive plays, create some turnovers for our offense, and create some negative plays and put them behind the sticks. So if we can do that each and every week, I think we'll give ourselves a chance to win a ball game, and that's what's important that week, just going 1-0.
We've talked about this before, but the fact that you guys really stress, creating turnovers. You've got a dummy machine with a football that you guys slap at all the time, but really that's a mentality for a defensive football team.
Yeah, I think not only turnovers but just playing defense for us is just a mentality and a mindset. It's, hey, put the ball down. Doesn't matter where you're going to put it. Let's put the ball down. Let's go to work. Let's go be physical up front. We call it Tommy Tough guys. Go knock guys back and then create turnovers. So that's just a mindset of who we are, and that predator mindset, the shark mentality that we talk about. So, and the guys have done a nice job of just keep carrying that out each and every play.
Players on this defense, how much do you enjoy working with them? Because when you see you guys together, a lot of times you see smiles. Xavier Smith comes to mind. Bruce Bivens comes to mind. You come to mind because you're smiling with these guys. I mean, you're all in it together, but it's got to be difficult if you're going to practice and you don't like this guy or you don't like that guy or they don't like, but you guys all seem to get along pretty well. You have to get on them sometimes, I'm sure, but I think that these guys are mature enough to understand that sometimes it's just tough love.
Yeah, we got a very mature defense, and they understand, like, hey, they want to be coached, they want to be corrected, they want to get it right, and it's like you said, I think the love for each other goes a lot further than the other. I enjoy being around our guys. They make you enjoy coming to work every day and preparing for the next opponent, and just the way they're grasping things and picking up on things, and the way they go play the game is really fun to watch.
I know the goal is to go 1-0 this week against Temple, but what would it mean to you as a defensive coordinator to have this program go to a bowl this year?
I think that's just not just for this program, but for our players, for our fans. That would be huge. Obviously, all our focus is on Temple, but it's been our goal since I've got here, since Coach Houston's got here, just turning this program into a year in, year out bowl team. And we're close, but we got to take care of business this week.
A year in and year out bowl team, a team that competes for championships. I know that's the goal for Mike Houston. All right, let's zero in on Temple and the Owls. You've touched on them a couple of times, but what's the key defensively to winning this football game?
I think it's still stop the run, and that's each and every week. We got to make sure we get lined up correctly, have great eye discipline, and that's going to be the key to the run game there. Winning first down, you don't want to get these guys in 2nd and 5 and 3rd and short. They have a lot more 3rd and shorts than they do 3rd and medium, 3rd and long, which is surprising. So it means they're doing a really good job staying on pace, staying on schedule. So you got to get them behind the sticks and then control their big explosive plays. Don't let them have anything down the field. Keep everything in front of you and do a great job tackling.
And defense is such a sport of emotion, because the emotions, and some coaches say that lasts for about a play or two. But I really think defense, they feed off that crowd, don't they?
Oh, there's no doubt, and that's why our guys love playing at home in front of Dowdy Ficklin. And the Boneyard was awesome last Thursday night. I'm fired up about this week. I think we're going to have a great crowd, and our players are excited about that too. I think it I think back about the South Carolina game and just the effort and the energy and the excitement and the emotion they played with. And I think that had a lot to do with our fans and just Dowdy Ficklen Stadium and being at home.
We had heard that the students were really going to come out, but I was really surprised to see the number that came out and the energy and enthusiasm. As you said, I thought they did a great job. They were all dressed in black. Some of them had Halloween, mask on, that kind of thing, painted up faces, and I thought they did a wonderful job. They really were good.
Yeah, that was awesome, and just to have them out there, maybe not the best weather, but just to have them out there, and our players appreciate that. Coaches, we appreciate that, and everything our students do. Everything our fans do, and just the energy and excitement they bring on the game day. Because, like you said, our players can feed off of that, and just makes it an awesome game.
All right, Coach, go 1-0 this week.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you having me on.
All right, Blake Harrell joining us on the Brian Bailey Show. We'll take another commercial break. We'll come back and wrap things up after this.
The Angus Grill is the premier location for the best burgers, cheesesteaks, and brisket sandwiches around. Join us and experience original flavors, quality service, and an upbeat environment. We've got 5 outstanding locations in eastern North Carolina, in Winterville near Pitt Community College, in Wilmington on 4th Street, and 3 locations right here in Greenville, East 10th Street near the Walmart, Jarvis Street in Uptown, and in our newest location on Statensburg Road near the hospital at the former CPW's location. It's the best burger around. Angus Grill.
It's Bostic Sugg Furniture's 84th anniversary. Since 1937, Bostic Sugg has built a legacy based on quality furniture, value, and exceptional customer service. Get anniversary savings up to 15% off store-wide, plus 6 months special financing on brands like Lazy Boy, Kincaid, Rowe, Bassett, and more. Plus, for a limited time, get local delivery for only $19.37. Wake up to a whole new you and enjoy 72 months special financing on a new Serta or Restonic mattress now at Bostic Sugg Furniture.
The Rick House, Eastern North Carolina's premier American-style restaurant and bourbon bar, has great specials throughout the week, like $10 Tuesdays. Get 8 traditional wings and a draft beer for just $10. Wednesday night is date night, 2 salads, an appetizer, a bottle of wine, 2 entrees, and a dessert for just $55. Friday is smokehouse night with the best ribs and brisket around. Saturday is Italian night, featuring all of our made-from-scratch pastas along with 2 glasses of wine. And on Sunday is the legendary brunch from 10 to 2. The Rick House, 710 Red Banks Road beside the bowling alley in Greenville.
Hi, I'm Ken Hagler of Taft Hagler. We're proud to be sponsors of the Brian Bailey Show and the Pirate Nation on Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. If you've been injured on the job or due to someone else's negligence in an automobile collision, call us at 752-2000 for a free consultation with experienced professionals who care. Go Pirates!
Hello, Pirate Nation. This is Bram Anderson from Tiebreakers, and we are excited to announce that we will be opening our 2nd location in Winterville soon. Right now, our growing company is hiring team members for all positions for both locations. We need managers, bartenders, servers, cooks, and dishwashers. If you're looking for an opportunity to be on a fun and exciting restaurant team, then come see us today. Apply in person at Tiebreakers at Bells Fork. Check us out at tiebreakersnc.com.
BMS Builders is your premier custom builder in eastern North Carolina. With Blackwood and Mills Creek in Greenville, Dalton's Cove in Farmville, and Belmar in Ayden, these are just a few of the developments featuring BMS Builders homes. They can build the home of your dreams. Just ask Dr. Dennis Ross in Greenville or East Carolina football coach Mike Houston. They built their homes, and they can build yours as well. BMS Builders. Give them a call at 916-1578 for BMS Builders.
This is Mike Houston, head football coach at East Carolina University, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show. Now, back to Brian.
All right, welcome back on this Monday as we continue on. High school football's state playoffs open up on Friday night. 1A play. Tarboro has a bye, as does Northside from Pinetown. So both of those teams have a bye to round 2. Playoffs are expanded, but then they only go with 4 classifications, so it's a little complicated as we get used to everything. 2A play, Kinston will play at Eastern Wayne in the first round. North Pitt's Panthers have had a great year. They'll play Edenton Holmes in the first round. Green Central goes on the road to play Cummings. That's going to be a tough road trip. North Lenore at West Craven, one of the closer games in our area. Southwest Edgecombe at Wallace Rose Hill will be very difficult for the Cougars taking on the Bulldogs there. 3A play, Rocky Mount and Havelock. Great matchup in 3A action. Croatan challenges J.H. Rose. The Rampants get the number 6 seed as the 3A champs as a part of that big Carolina 3A 4A league. D.H. Conley gets a 28 seed. They'll be big underdogs as they go to Durham to take on Hillside on Friday night. Wakefield plays at number 4 New Bern. Some of the area teams in high school football. The soccer playoffs begin coming up tonight. We've got several area teams involved in that. Best of luck in volleyball coming up to D.H. Conley and J.H. Rose. Rose travels to Cedar Ridge tomorrow night. D.H. Conley will be at home against Green Level. So good luck to both of those teams. Conley and Rose put on some battles this year, and both will have a chance to play for state championships. Conley in 4A play and Rose in 3A play. A couple of other notes before we take one final break. Happy birthday to man Clip Brock. How old are you, Clipper?
I am 40 years of age.
40? You turned 40 today. How about that? One of the milestone birthdays.
That's right.
40. Yeah. I turned 60 in July. How about that? I never thought you were 20 years younger than me, but I guess you are.
I sure is.
So happy birthday. Happy birthday. That's good news. All right. I got a little birthday tidbit for you. You're going to love this one. Mm-hmm. You can use it on your trivia.
All right.
Last night, when Cooper Rush hit Amari Cooper for the touchdown pass to win it for the Cowboys, it's the first time in NFL history where the passer's first name and receiver's last name are an exact match. Follow me here. Cowboys also have the only touchdown pass for the passer's last name and the receiver's first for an exact match, and that was 1 year ago in Week 11 of 2020 at Minnesota when Andy Dalton hit Dalton Schultz.
Wow.
How about that? Is that just great trivia or what?
I love stuff like that, and that is
and you love
fantastic.
The Cowboys too, don't you?
I like that Andy Dalton Schultz team last year. That was my favorite Cowboys team.
Yeah, that was a very good Cowboys team, was it? But this one's doing a little bit better. I thought that was cool.
That is a really
weird,
cool stat. Yeah. How did Cooper Rush look last night?
You know, and I was telling you this before we went on the air, I really think that obviously if it had been a playoff game, Dak Prescott would have played. But with the whole season still ahead of everybody, you got an extra week this year, you're playing 17 games. I think the Cowboys put Cooper out there and said, let's see how you do, and if you do well, you'll continue to be our backup quarterback, and if you don't, we may have to go shop because there are some quarterbacks out there. But I think he passed the test. I think he played. He didn't play outstanding, but he had some good stats. I mean, he really put some good numbers up, and he got a couple of drops. CD had a drop across the middle on him one time, and when the game was on the line, I tell you who made the best play was Zeke Elliott. He took the football on a little pass over the middle on 3rd and 11 late in the game when it looked like the Cowboys were going to set up for the field goal to tie it, and he bust right through 2 people, got down to the 5-yard line. He made so many blocks on blitzes all night. I really thought he played one of his best games, and he'll get no credit for it because he didn't rush for that many yards. But.
Yeah, that quarterback, the running back picking up a blitz is something I want to talk about on the Players Lounge on Pirate Radio today with Rajay Harris, because that Holton Ayler's beautiful ball to Omatosho doesn't happen if Harris doesn't pick up the blitz. So that's it's a underrated thing,
certainly,
when those guys do that and save a play.
Certainly is an underrated part of the football game, but he did a nice job with that. I remember the play, obviously, and I saw the blitz pickup, and you're right, that play does not happen if Roger doesn't make that block. Let's take our final break. We'll come back. We'll wrap up this edition of the Brian Bailey Show for you right after this.
There's no better time to drive away with a quality pre-owned car, truck, or SUV from Greenville Auto World. Greenville Auto World is your authorized rough country dealer. We specialize in lift and leveling kits along with custom wheel packages. Whether you're looking for ground clearance or enhancing the appearance of your vehicle, trust our team for your off-road experience. Greenville Auto World, 3840 South Charles Boulevard across from Hardee's at Bell's Fork, or online at greenvilleautoworld.net.
Dear past, present, and future football watchers, football is back, just how you remembered it. Tailgates with an ice-cold Pepsi in hand? Totally back. That between-play sprint to the fridge for more Pepsi? It's back, baby! I really miss this. Anyways, consider this your official excuse for always putting football watching first, courtesy of Pepsi. That haircut appointment? Your mom told us you look great, so you should probably reschedule. Seeing the in-laws for the first time in ages.
It's been so long.
Nope, sorry, Susan. Not if it's on Sunday. Long story short, after the year we've all had, we think you could use a little football watching. So crack open a Pepsi and cheer your football watching face off. With love, Pepsi. Made for football watching. That's what I like.
Hi, this is Billy Parker at Parker's Barbecue. Did you know that we have party rooms at our Memorial Drive location? We can accommodate parties from 10 to 110, or anything in between. We can serve family-style buffet or order off the menu. Parker's Barbecue. Come celebrate with us.
Hi, this is Jeff Charles for my friends at Ed Watkins Marine. I've known Ed personally for years, covering his winning performances on the football field and on NASCAR's pit road. Now Ed is winning on the water, and you get to win too. You win with awesome prices on boats from Ed Watkins Marine, and of course, great service after the sale. If you're looking for a new boat, contact Ed Watkins Marine today. They will deliver anywhere. Find them online at edwatkinsmarine.com and tell them the voice sent you.
Mercer Glass is clearly different.
Hi, this is Todd Mitchum with Mercer Glass, Eastern North Carolina's most complete glass company. Mercer Glass specializes in windows, shower doors, auto glass, and mirrors. We can install or repair almost anything made of glass in your home or business. So give us a call at Mercer Glass. That's 752-5101. That's 752-5101.
This is Mark Washington with Max Sports Performance at Max Fitness. Our facility has reopened and is following all safety protocols. The best thing you can do to strengthen your immune system is, of course, to work out and exercise on a regular basis. I can assist you as your performance coach. You can also enjoy the benefits of a private facility. Avoid the crowds and work out at Max Fitness. Now is the time to get healthy. Max Fitness, just off Highway 43 in the old Ace Hardware building behind Speedway in Greenville. Call me, Mark Washington, 902-4877.
This is Amanda Houston, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. Go Pirates!
You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show. Now, back to Brian.
All right, welcome back as we wrap up this edition of The Brian Bailey Show on this Victory Monday. Haven't called it that all show because we had the game on Thursday night, kind of lost it through the weekend. What a great weekend it was. Watch college football on Saturday, watch the pros on Sunday, and got Monday Night Football tonight. But busy time right now. High school volleyball playoffs again. Eastern Finals. Conley is at home on Tuesday night, and J.H. Rose hits the road. Best of luck to those two teams. Soccer playoffs starting tonight around the area. High school football playoffs start on Friday night, so check us out on Touchdown Friday. We've got those matchups for you on our website at WNCT.com. The Memphis game time is out for 12 noon, and Malik Fleming was named as the American Defensive Player of the Week in that 29-14 Pirate win over South Florida and the Bulls. He had that 31-yard interception return for a touchdown in the Pirate victory that really turned that game around, and East Carolina was able to win it again. 29-14 was the final. I want to thank Blake Harrell, the defensive coordinator for East Carolina, for being on the show with me this afternoon, and we welcome you back next week here on The Brian Bailey Show. Have a great sports week, everybody.
This has been The Brian Bailey Show, brought to you by
Angus Grill, Bostic Sugg Furniture, Bojangles, East Coast Grading, The Gavigan Agency, Greenville Auto World, Papa John's, Pepsi, Seared Chop House, Taft and Hagler, Tiebreakers, EMS Builders, and The Rick House.
Join us next time for another edition of The Brian Bailey Show, exclusively on Pirate Radio, the voice of